Why would taping your paper down over the top of your jelly plate be a good idea when you're working with layers? Well, I'm going to show you why you might want to consider doing that. So in this video, I'm going to show you why it's very important to tape your paper down. So if you're curious about it, please carry on watching and I'll share that information with you. So let's get started. Today I thought I would demonstrate something else to do on your jelly plate. What you see here in front of you is just a piece of copy paper. I've taped it down to one side here. That's called registering it. And the reason why you do that is that you can keep on putting the piece of paper back onto the jelly plate as you put the layers one on top of the other. And so to make sure that you get it in the same place or approximately in the same place, you register it here. This is just a piece of masking tape here. And I've also put the jelly plate onto a Perspex, it's kind of a Perspex plate holder, and I got this from claritystamps.co.uk, and it's very good to put your jelly plate on. It sort of enables you to move it around and turn the whole plate upside down to see what's happening, but in this case I don't want it to move, so I've taped it down again here with some tape. I've also decided to use this pattern here, and this will go over the top of my jelly plate after I've put my inks on, and in this case I'm going to use some Ranger Tim Holtz Distress Oxide, and I have Fossilized Amber, Pickled Raspberry and Stormy Sky. I've also got the larger brayer that I can use. It's 15 centimeters or 6 inches long. So those are the pieces of equipment that I've got to play with today, and what I'll do is I'll put the descriptions of the products into the notes below, so you'll be able to read what I've been using. For those of you who've used these Distress Oxide inks before, you know that you don't need to really press too hard. It never looks as though that you've got very much on your plate or on the paper, but believe me, when you come to work with it, it's astonishing how vibrant those colours are. So there's a thin layer of the 3 inks, and I'm going to get my 6-inch brayer now and just try to blend the colours out a little bit. As you can see, I'm going from side to side. I'm not going up and down like that, otherwise it's just going to all go into a mush. So I'll put that down there. I'm going to put my floral mask over the top there and bring the paper over, and I'm going to try and get in and out of those tiny little patterned holes that are in the mask. I'll have a quick peek to see what's happening. Yep. That seems to be okay. And there we have the first pull back of the stencils. I'm going to take this off, put it to one side, and I'm going to use the roller again to put some paint back on. This will still have quite a lot of paint on, so making sure that I've got the fossilized amber at the top and the stormy sky at the bottom. Oops. I'm going to go over again, just a couple of passes. I have this in the meantime, which is a stamp, and I'm going to put it on top, and again press down on top of the inks that I've just applied with my 6-inch brayer. I'm putting this back on and rubbing down again. And because we have this registered here, we should be able to see that it's covered the areas that I've previously worked with. So that's quite a subtle pattern there. You can just about see the little areas that I've applied the stamp to, this stamp. So the more you go over it with the brayer, the more you will be able to see the pattern underneath the mask. Let's just take this off. Sorry about the noise, and I'll show you. That's really quite a nice subtle pattern there. So that's a very, very simple one to do to begin with. So let's carry on and we'll try again. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've taped down another piece of copy paper, and I'm going to go again with the same colours. I'm going to be a little bit more gentle with it this time, not as heavy-handed. Let's go with the Stormy Sky next, because here in the UK today we've got a definite stormy sky, and we'll go for the very vibrant pickled raspberry. This time I'm going to try and blend them in a little bit more than I did before. I don't mind if this goes into a green, and I don't mind that the pickled raspberry and the stormy sky turn into something that is a nice kind of mauvey colour. Put this on top, but this time I'm going to put this on top as well and push through. So we should get these little patterns of the circles and ovals peeping through the openness of the mask there. So we won't know until we've pulled the print, and that is the best thing about doing monoprinting. It's the reveal at the end. Well, it is for me anyway. I don't know about you. Oh, how pretty. Trying to get inside there is a little bit difficult because the mask is not very open, but there you go, managed to do that. And this is the beauty about taping it down and registering it, so you can actually go straight back and try and get up the little bits and pieces that you've spotted when you've had a peep underneath that paper. Oh, that's really, really lovely. Completely different than the first one. You've got definite bands in that one there, and this one is very, very subtle. And it's really pretty to look at. I think so anyway. You can use that in a very lovely collage later on, and I will be showing you what I'm going to do with that. So we have two pieces there, and you can just see those subtle patterns underneath the plate. Now then, what would happen if I just put a single layer of the Distress Oxide down first and then applied the mask and the plate? Shall we try and have a look? Okay, I'll be back with you in a second. I'd just like to make a point for those who might be concerned. This isn't wasted paper. What I'll do in the next day or two is to come back with this rather filthy looking rectangular jelly plate, and this will fit on here nicely to do some more pulls. So it's not wasted. I can do some rather nice pulls on that in the next day or two. In the meantime, I've decided to go with this lemony colour, and I'm going to do just a single background with it. I'll show you how I register this. I can put this on here now. Tape it down. It's as simple as that. And then rub over this to get down the colour as much as I can onto this paper. I think we're going to see a kind of shadow effect of the last print that I did, but essentially it will be a solid colour like that, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So we'll continue on and use this mask to put some colour onto the plate. Whoops. Going to put the inks down again. Go with the blue first, and then the, whoops, very vibrant. That was clever, wasn't it? Yellow there, and let's mix it up. Pop this on, and again we'll go over with this, and we'll ignore that bit there. Just taken both the stamp off and also the mask. I apologise if people are screaming at the the PC or the phone and saying that's not a stencil, it's not a mask, it's a stencil, but sometimes it can be very confusing. Okay, not a huge success, but let's put something else on it. Let's go with this. And we will have a combination of the very vibrant pinky colour and the Stormy Sky. Don't know whether this is going to work, but we'll all find out at the same time. Just rolling over a little bit. Take the mask off. Oh, I'm pleased with that. Only goes to show that when you make a mistake, you can do something and it will come out rather nice. Well, I think so anyway. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to start again with the fossilized amber. So just give me a couple of seconds and I'll be back with you. So off we go again. I've taped the paper down. This is laser print paper. This is the paper I've been using is just ordinary copy paper, but this is laser print paper. So we'll see whether or not this has any kind of different effect than just the ordinary copy paper. Fossilized amber going down, rolling it out with my brayer just to get a nice solid yellowy colour to begin with as our base. Fab, happy with that? Great. Just move it to one side. I'm going to clean this off a little bit so we don't get too much of the yellow. And we'll go with the this colour here, the pickled raspberry and the Stormy Sky. Trying not to get too much of the paint onto the plate, the various different ink pads. It's going to be a nice mauve colour, I feel. Put our flowers on, put our stamp on and really push through this time. Trying to get as much paint off as we can. That's rather nice. Lay the paper down again. Oh, that is so lovely. I'm really reluctant to do anything with that. I really am. What do you think? Should I carry on, or should I just quit while I'm ahead? Let me have a think. I've taped the paper down again. I'm using the laser print again, laser print paper. And let's go for a nice solid base to begin with. Use that yellow on the paper there, I can work on later. So we've got the nice yellow again. We'll go for the pinks and the blues. Obviously you can choose whatever colours you want to use. I'm just trying to go for something quite subtle, hopefully. Put some blue in there, trying to avoid the pinks, and kind of mix it up a little bit. That. And really push in now, really try to get between those little open areas. I'm going to call it a stencil mask. See how that is. Print over. And there we have, not exactly the same, but it's approximate. So now I'll put some of the sky blue on, trying to go a little bit heavier with it this time. This on and try and take some of the areas away. Oh, that's quite nice as well. Yep, that'll go in my stash. Put you to one side, pop that on. Carry on a little bit more. Quite a faint pattern, but nonetheless really quite pretty. So I'll get all these papers together and I'll show you what my jelly plate session has achieved today. Back MO. So today's session I've used the HOLTZ Distress Oxide in Fossilized Amber, Pickled Raspberry and Stormy Sky. My trusty gel plate, 6-inch brayer, a variety of masks and stamp, and some papers, copy paper, and then towards the end I've used the laser print paper. This was the first one that I did, and as far as I'm concerned, for my taste, it's a little bit too bandy and stripy, but I will be able to use parts of it in future collages. And as I said before, don't worry, this isn't going to be wasted paper at the bottom here. I can make some notes on to remind me what colours I've used and what order I use them, and I can also stamp on it, do some mono printing with another rectangular jelly plate. As far as I'm concerned, this was more successful. Very sort of pretty pastel colours. You can just see the bluey mauve coming through here. Then I pushed on a little bit more and decided to put a base colour down, which was the yellow, and then pushed on a bit more by using this one as a final overlay, and the same with this one, which is again rather nice. And just after I turned the camera off, I just wet the plate with a little water bottle, nothing special, just one that's been hanging around the house. Sprayed the plate, put my paper on, and got this really beautiful texture. So thank you for watching, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do exactly the same again, but this time I'm going to use acrylics. So why don't you join me next time to see what happens.